Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
I think that was the big thing. Everybody was just a little too amped up. You know, we just needed everybody to just take a deep breath. Coaches, kids, everybody. And once we did, these guys are mature in the aspect of never worrying about the situation and just thinking next play, and that's exactly what they did.
It was a tough break, and that happens in the game of football. And if that happens again, hopefully we respond better than what we did tonight.
Yeah, lots of mistakes, but I'm pretty daggone proud of them for the way they fought. Man, they did not give up, and bad things kept happening to us. And
finished the first half with a good 2-minute drive, put some good things together, and kind of just took it and ran with it in the second half. I feel like we were really explosive in the second half. We came together.
They didn't like the way it went last year, and they've been geared up for this game for a long time, and it showed. And there's certain things you can do, and if you don't win the turnover battle, and there were a ton of penalties.
It's tough. You got to give them credit, but we battled and we continue to fight, and that's those are the emotions of today.
And he hits it well to right field. Renfroe is back, and it's going to sail over his head. Miranda to third is going to be waved home. Here's the relay from Garcia. It is in time!
A tremendous relay from Renfroe to Mike Helmets. Something we talk about, in here, and the players or wherever. You just never know when your opportunity to affect the outcome of the game is. And
he's lining it up. 5 seconds left. NIU up 16-14. 62-yarder. Snap, hold, Jeter's kick, it's blocked! It's blocked! It's blocked! Picked up by NIU! Picked up by NIU! The Huskies have done it! The Huskies with the biggest upset in NIU history!
Holy buckets, Leotis! My goodness! Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. It's a Monday Sports Day show, in-season Sports Day show, where there is just a big platter of sports that we're going to dig into today. On the program with us, Mike Corson. Sean Bear is in studio to start the show with us today. He'll be breaking down the Great Bend McPherson game, previewing Olathe South coming up with Mike Hesher here shortly. Mike Hesher is in. And our studio engineer today is Kent Brubaker.
Hey, Kent.
So, gang's all here.
You know what Sean Bear reminds me of right now? All the people in the diamond seats at the K playing on his phone while the game's going on.
That's what you got to do. That way you're in tune. In tune. You know what's going on.
On the show today, Sean Bear is in on the program today. Jim Mizunas, Great Bend Tribune, will be in, and Mike Corson going on the. Yeah, he'll be talking with Great Bend Panther cross country coach Lyles Lashley. You're getting a feel for this, aren't you? There,
something wrong with you guys.
In the middle.
All right, let's get started with our sounds of the weekend. Aaron Beck talking about his team calming down a little bit after the season started. That's how Sean Bear came on in the pregame show, and it was amazing, Hesh, to come on and said, I really think that we're going to start this season off by Omot taking it to the house.
Oh, yeah. Who was that guy on Johnny Carson? Karnak, the great Karnak.
That got the Panthers started, but sometimes I'm not saying you never want to have an opening kickoff return for a touchdown, but then all of a sudden you're like, 12 seconds in the game, think, man, this is going to be easy tonight.
Well, and I thought the call was going to be easy the rest of the way too, but that's what a way to start it out. Almock back there, I'm sure he was a little jittery. And he catches the ball, and all of a sudden the C's open up, and he's got a gap 20 yards wide to run through. What a great special teams play. That was fantastic.
28-6 Panthers win. Thoughts on the victory, boys?
Well, the other thing I found interesting is Coach Beck basically said in another part of the interview, they thought they would kick away from him. So they were surprised they kicked to him, and that surprised everybody.
Well, I think he might have messed up a little bit because it was a squib kick. But instead of an angled squib kick, it was a squib kick right down the middle. And you want to talk, Cooper doesn't play baseball, but, because he's a triple jumper. But he got a candy hop back there at about the 10, hit him right in the chest, and he just caught the ball with momentum going forward, and the rest is in the books.
I would say, I'm guessing McPherson's going to score a lot more than 6 points this year. So we've been waiting on the offense, but 6 points on the defensive side. I was pretty pleased to kind of listening to you guys up Friday to hear that continue to progress throughout the night.
Yeah, anytime they got through the first level, the next level of swarm of that Panther defense was coming in. Hats off to Coach Luddy. Had them prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, I was looking at the stats. I was surprised at the lack of offense they had. They had like 155 yards of total offense McPherson did.
Well, that was probably in the first quarter and a half when they were running the football and just they had their ears pinned back and were coming right at us. And once we figured out and made the adjustments and our guys got a little calmed down because, defense can be a little bit too aggressive at times too. So that was a good deal.
Aaron Beck commenting on the play of junior Connor Holiday. So evidently stepped up on that defense as well. We got some new faces that are.
He did great. He did great. He initially he was a little overzealous, and I think he caught himself. He was coming too far up the field in gap control. He would be 2 steps deep in the backfield. He fought to get there, but all of a sudden it gave an angle to the running back, and he was able, if he slipped him, that gap was open. So later in the game, Holiday started kind of breaking down a little bit in that hole and then just folding right into the play and was making some great tackles.
Real quick, was Jay Sharts, was that a big touchdown run or just a big run?
79 yards officially, according to the scoreboard in McPherson, but we'll start the second half. Right up the middle, 79 yards, nobody even came close to touching him.
Nice.
When he got into the open field, his old head tilted back. I played with a guy, we used to call him Turbo Johnson, and whenever his head tilted back like that, he was in the open field.
Turbo? You never told the radio man back in the day.
Turbo Johnson. This was at Idaho.
Oh, okay.
This was at Idaho. Okay. Turbo Johnson. He was about 4'9", but so he had turbos.
Turbo Johnson. Panthers open the home season Friday night. Olathe South. They lost a close game over the week. That's going to be a big challenge. The WAC taking on the Olathe schools this week. Let's see. Panthers. Okay. That was the wrong schedule.
Okay, they lost to Olathe South, lost to Mill Valley, which, as Mike Corson will test.
What is it, 42-35?
Yeah, well, but it's still Mill Valley. I mean, are they not 5A or 4A Catholic school?
I think that's what Steve's saying is that's a
powerhouse.
That as a loss.
I understand that.
Hoisington, they drop a 24-3 decision to the Pratt Greenbacks, and Jason Robinson getting things started, got an interception on the opening possession, and then gets hurt.
Probably the next play got hurt. It was the opening possession for Hoisington. He got hurt on the first play is what I was told.
Zach Baird commenting on that. His team didn't respond very well, but, man, that's a tough one to overcome when you lose your starting quarterback.
First play of the game, and, we've been, as he says elsewhere, they wasted practice time with Jason at the quarterback. Now they have to go back to, I would assume it's going to be Ringala, but I don't know that.
24-3, so Hoisington now is going to host Heston on Friday night. Heston was a victorious 21-14 over Halstead on Friday night. Brady Keith, head coach of the Larned Indians, proud of his team. Not a lot of things went good. A lot of things went bad, but they still won the game, 36-24. Larned will try to get off to a 2-0 start when they host the Hillsboro Trojans on Friday night, who will come into that game 0-1 on the season. Okay, some other scores from the area. Ellenwood picks up a win in their season opener, 32-0 over Syracuse. Central Plains, 48, Maxville nothing. St. John, 46-0 over La Crosse.
Ooh.
Let's see. Kinsley beat Ashland 54-22. Victoria shut out Ness City 48-0. That's a top game in the area coming up. Victoria and Central Plains play on Friday night. Hodgman County 24, South Gray 20. And Otis Bison. Connor Nichols said look out for them. Their first year six-man football. They shut out Western Plains 48-0. Pawnee Heights pitches a 1-0 shutout of Chase.
How about this one? Weskin, what has been out there like 100-some years. First night ever under the lights.
Were those lights on poles?
They raised,
it was the cars. The cars around the.
They raised like $150,000. Well, some of that was grant money, but yeah, no lights out there for
forever. They always played their games in the afternoon.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Didn't Weskin get hit with a tornado?
Somebody said they had put new stands in, so these are entirely new stands because the other ones got wiped out. And Weskin was a non-Keisha school here recently. They just rejoined back up, so kind of fun to see.
And that's
them
kind of neat. Only thing is they with the officials issue or lack of officials, they probably could have kept playing on the afternoon games
and
with
the
no
guys,
lights.
Officials are doing 2 games in one day now.
Yeah,
they do the game.
Some of them do a game and then come and get on the radio like Webby.
Well, it depends. I go in there, talk about Landon's, alias. I'm Herb Thompson, or I don't go into these towns.
That's better than being Herb Pollock from WKRP.
No, I don't have the
Johnny Fever.
Yeah. Any other? Okay, Derby beats Hayes 40-7. Dodge over Woodward, Oklahoma 40-6. Manhattan beats Garden City 57-21. Liberal over Wichita North 70-6.
The misnomer in that Derby game, I believe it was 33-7 at the half. So both came out, just kind of slowed things down. Hayes had 2 nice drives in the second half. Couldn't do much with it.
Okay. The high school football, you can see the scores in this week's schedule. Go to greatbendpost.com. K-State opens the season, trailed 20-10 at halftime. Then they rallied to win the game. Avery Johnson talking about their play in the second half. Thoughts on the K-State game, anybody?
Can he play cornerback? The defense got torched. I don't know. This is where the same with Pratt. I don't know how good Pratt was. I have no idea how good Tulane is, but put up some big offensive numbers. Seemed to me that a lot of Avery Johnson stuff was timing. He's putting balls on a line, but there was nobody within 5 yards of him. So hopefully they get that figured out, and it'll be kind of fun to see that offense work. But
2 Friday night games.
Yeah, there's nothing big going on Friday night in Great Bend.
K-State hosts Arizona to begin Big 12 conference play on Friday night.
And that's one of the bigger games in the nation. I don't think there's a whole lot of ranked matchups, and this is one of them.
I don't like playing college football on Friday nights. That's high
Friday
school
Night Lights was meant for high school boys.
Yes.
And they've avoided that for so long, and even the NFL leached over at least 1 week, and I think they said that's going to be a new thing to start the season. It's a joke. Yeah, let the high school have its day.
KU plays Friday night, too, against UNLV. That was a bad loss. Illinois is much better than they've been.
Turnovers.
Brett Bielema. Boy.
Turnovers. You can't turn the ball over.
Jalen Daniels, he looks thicker this year. I don't know.
Looks thicker, but maybe his glasses need to be thicker. Well, I'm a KU guy.
Okay, so run the damn ball then.
There you go.
Devin Neal was getting 6-7 yards a crack.
Hey,
and then they missed their offensive coordinator, I think, a little bit.
The best selling point for run the football. So many times in the NFL overtime games, they just start airing it out and think they've got to throw it. I think yesterday, overtime, Detroit versus the Rams. Detroit ran the ball 6 out of 7 times, drove right down in overtime, and scored. Game over.
I love this. A quarterback who loved to throw the ball.
But those linemen, they like to run it. Those linemen. There's guys that have bad knees right now that are 65, 70 years old that used to play line, and they're like, yeah, run the ball.
Yeah. I mean, Illinois is good, but, that kind of takes it. I mean, if you want to be a top 25 program, obviously KU's not in the top 25 anymore after that, taking on UNLV at Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City on Friday. Fort Hays wins 30-16 over Northwest Missouri State. That was a good win because Missouri Western had, not Northwest, but Missouri Western, had beaten Fort Hays 16 out of 18 times. Did you go to?
We were still RMAC.
Okay, so we didn't just have a non-league game with Missouri Western back in Sean Bear's.
We'd probably beat them.
Whoa!
We'd probably beat them.
16 out of 18, that's just unbelievable. I mean, you think law of averages.
Well,
because Fort Hays State hadn't been too bad here recently.
Tigers, the last 3 or 4 years, I mean, they've got that program back going 2-0, so.
They trailed at halftime.
Fort Hays comes back and gets the win.
That's it.
Okay, Bo Nix. Broncos fall 26-20. They must have got they did get a touchdown late, because I was watching it was 26-13, and then
Bo Nix did a lot of running in that last drive. I mean, he pretty much ran him down the field. He scrambled a couple times, and he was able to get him close, because I listened to a little bit of Broncos post-game. How come they didn't do that more? How come they didn't do that more?
There's 2 other quarterbacks that I think could have started for Denver. It's a rebuilding year.
Don't say that to Bronco fans.
I'm just saying I don't
asleep.
like throwing those rookie quarterbacks in there.
You fall asleep when you watch the Broncos. I've learned that over my 51 years. Go Chiefs.
26-20, 26 of 42, 138 yards, and a couple of interceptions. All right, the Royals, the call yesterday here on KVGB, Hunter Renfroe makes a throw to Mikael Garcia to catcher Freddie Fermin, the first inning, big defensive play. Royals, just as Mike Hesher predicted,
sweeping the Twins over the weekend.
And they're right back in it now, just 2 games back.
And you're all talking about Friday night. It's still baseball season. I know I'll be at Memorial Stadium, but I'll be with the Royals. Because they play the Pirates. They got to get through the Yankees first, but it's...
Does he pay attention during the game, or does...
Go Cardinals.
It only happened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
okay.
but you did. But I will vouch. McPherson's uniforms did look a lot like...
They were exactly like Horsington's. It's like,
oh, hey, back to that Kansas City. How about the exit velocity on Salvi's RBI there late in the game? It had to be at least 3.5 miles an hour.
It went 80 feet.
80 feet. 3.5 miles per hour exit velocity.
Salvi had an infield single.
Bases loaded.
It's all his wheels.
Which all contributed, boys.
That's it.
To the Iuka Hustlers.
Oh, heavens. Here we go.
Wrapping up the Tiger Ball regular season championship, 16.5 games clear of second place Liebenthal in a 12-team league. I just... have a week off this week.
What about the postseason, though? Let's talk about the postseason.
Hey, I've got tickets, man.
Okay.
You want to go to the Hustlers?
I'm all in it.
Okay,
Let's
all right.
do that.
Real quick, our friends up in Lincoln, Colorado was up there, big game, just in terms of ratings. We talked about the uniforms before. Adidas is doing Nebraska right. Those might be the sharpest uniforms in the country. Dare I say I like to watch Nebraska.
Big red. Can't change that too much. Big red.
Let's say, what'd they do to them?
It's basically the old, but the red really pops, the little white Adidas, and the quarterback wears the little tags on his visor with the little N. It's the best helmet in the country, Mike.
Okay.
My son-in-law is just... I forgot, because it's been a long time ago, when Nebraska was pertinent, and I remembered how their fans were. And it has only taken a 2-0 start to remind me of that.
They've got a guy, though. He's 6'6", 300 pounds, looks like a linebacker, plays like a linebacker. It's frightening.
I go over there for supper, and I'm sitting there watch this. It's a YouTube of Nebraska practicing the tunnel walk. So before their first home game. And he's just involved in it. I hope his business hangs up there just for the sake of my daughter.
And who did they play? Oh, was it Colorado?
Colorado.
So they beat the NIL then.
Yep.
Nebraska beat the NIL.
Coach Primes, this is one.
This is
it.
That was a tough one. And then I don't know if he was injured or what, but when Shadir walked off the field with 2 minutes left,
that didn't go over very well, did it?
That didn't look good on TV.
Yep.
Especially if you're an offensive lineman. You want that guy with you all the way to the end, win, lose, or draw.
Well, he got hit when he slid and got hit late in the head. I think the kid got kicked out. And then the other Sanders broke his arm, so he had a rough day for the Sanders.
Yeah. And Matt Quattrero talking about making one of those plays. Those are the sound. Oh.
Yeah, Northern Illinois, you'd think those play guys thought, I bet we'll be on national radio by the end of the day here.
I don't know if they were even Notre Dame.
Here's our easy
We've got the
schedule.
Notre
This is
Dame
our
banner
year.
up there just so we can be reminded how long it's been. 1988.
I believe that's so, yes.
I think the coaches probably went through mass 3 or 4 times.
But they're probably still ranked 13th this week.
Oh, you know they will be.
They're definitely top 20.
They got to get them into the playoff.
Oh, gee, man.
So, yeah, here's our easy schedule. We got a 12-team playoff. It's Notre Dame.
Yeah, everybody's talking about, we got this first win at LSU, man. We're in.
Keep them off of NBC.
That's the Notre Dame network.
It is the M. Yep,
for sure.
All right, there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. So, where'd you guys eat after the game?
There was no
on
place
Friday
open,
night.
really.
Hash wouldn't feed you?
Oh no, I ate. That goes clear back to Gehring. Give me ice cream after a game, especially a win.
Did he?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, because Randy was always kind of cheap.
Well, it was a small ice cream cone.
Okay.
It was a small one.
And should we tell them about the incident before the game?
Well, we kind of got mixed up on our directions. We left at 3:15.
Yeah.
And got there about 4:15. So, we're a good amount of time beforehand.
Okay.
I like that. And, Hesh said that, well, I like going early in case there's any
I learned that from Steve Webster, yes.
Yep, you got to get there early, yeah.
So that was a little bit of foreshadowing. Because as we were watching and scouting the soccer team from McPherson, and they wouldn't get off the field, and we're like going, man, it's only like 2 hours to game time. Finally, Jason Perry says, are you guys up in the stands here? I'm like, are you on the field? Because we don't see you. He goes, yeah, we're on the field. And about that time, I think we checked. And
then I got out the sheet of paper and it says they're playing at McPherson College. So yeah, it was like, oops.
Yeah.
The former Great Bend play-by-play person has nothing on us.
Yes.
We didn't get lost in the zoo, but we just were there for. We know very well about the McPherson soccer program.
Yeah, we've got their hand signals, and we're going to turn those over to.
Did they have a nice press box at the school? I've never been to the football field at the high school.
No, you don't want to go there. Their bathroom was their bathroom was probably 15-minute walk away.
Oh gosh. Okay.
We shouldn't have said it.
It was interesting.
It was. We learned our lesson.
Yeah.
And they had the sheet of paper that they sent me the piece of paper, and I didn't read it.
Duo starts with an adventure.
That's
and
right.
That was our adventure for the year. It started.
And the Great Bend coaches kind of enjoyed it as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they were yelling at us as we were driving by. Hey, we're over here. We're over here. I thought that was pretty funny.
You guys won't have to do it. 1A towns, you won't find anything to eat except gas station food. But Dodge City, nothing. Wichita, nothing. Great Bend, we take advantage of our
Dodge City.
Places to eat.
Go find a food truck. I will guarantee you will find something to eat.
They feed the referees.
Corn dog.
Good stuff.
I was going to say 3-hour hot dog, 3-hour
Unless you go to Dodge City or something, then they don't give you nothing. You just,
go find a food truck.
They give you your escort out of town. Okay. We're going to talk more about Great Bend and McPherson. First of all, the game was at the college, so there you go, Hesh, learning process. And he'll be breaking that game down with Sean Bear. Sports Day today brought to you in part by Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish and continued support. They have you covered. And Equity Bank, here when you need us. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com. For more information, Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimse.com where you can schedule a free, no-obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Pulling acres ahead of the competition is simple. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils are formulated with EnduroVis technology and a balanced additive package to control deposits for a cleaner, more efficient engine that gives you proven durability. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
Discover affordable education with Barton Online. Whether you're looking to pick up a class or earn your associate degree, we've got you covered for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling with 5 sessions available this fall, including 16, 8, and 4-week sessions. Get started when it fits your schedule. Tackle your gen eds or the first 2 years of college with a low-cost pathway and save time and money with Barton Online. Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM.
And welcome back into Sports Day. Mike Hischer now talking to Sean Bear. And Sean, you've had a couple days to think about it. So what were your thoughts of the Great Bend game on Friday night against McPherson?
Thoroughly impressed. Those guys, I'm here to tell you, you're playing at a 5A level, 4A level, 5A level the rest of the way. I would imagine 6A this week.
I think 6A this week, yes, sir.
And you've got eight guys going back and forth both ways. You don't see that often. So there's a level of toughness in those kids out there that is it's hard to find these days.
and at least I brought this up a couple times, not only are they playing offense and defense, most of them were playing special teams as well. So did they get off the field at all?
It was a rarity. And unfortunately, late in the game, you could tell that it was special teams. They were kind of taking a little bit of time off, not really getting down there. Omach was back, calling for fair catches or catching the ball, and all of a sudden being face to face with about 6 different bull pups. But the kid did a good job of tucking it up and taking what he could get. But they gotta get a little bit more depth.
That's my question. In basketball, they always say if you're going to take some time off, do it on offense. Got to play defense up. In football, is there such a thing as taking anything off? You really can't, can you?
No, there's not.
Yeah.
If you take a play off, you give up a touchdown.
They're going the distance. Yeah.
You give up a touchdown, especially when you play the type of defense that the Panthers do, because they come after you. Lutz got him going out there, and he's got them pinning their ears back, and they're coming. So a lot of times, if one guy misses an assignment, there's some trouble there, and you can't take a play off.
We talked about Connor Holiday having a good first half into the second half. Also, Aiden Davidson was putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. The defense was looking tough.
Well, the defense came out, and again, it's always a little easier to pick up that defensive scheme of things. So your defense, the first couple of games every season is probably your strength because, again, it's easier to learn gap control than it is to know where you're going to be on a flea flicker, reverse pass to the corner of the end zone touchdown. And that sounds funny, but we actually pulled that one off last weekend. But, yeah, so the defense did a fantastic job. Again, you can play a little bit over-aggressively, and I think we saw that early on where we were getting great penetration, but sometimes we were getting too far up the field, which created a lane. And running lanes, when you're speaking defensively, are no bueno. So they figured it out as the game went along, or they got tired and they couldn't get as far up the field, but definitely shut them down, about midway through the second quarter forward.
Yeah, you mentioned it in the broadcast a couple times that they were overshooting stuff and they were too hyped up. Did you think that came off from the kickoff? Were they just that amped up from the kickoff return?
I think football's funny because football season doesn't start September 5th. Football season starts pretty much, I'm going to say June 1st.
Anymore, you are correct.
Those guys are playing this all year long. And so finally to be able to
hit somebody else,
strap a helmet on and go out there. I think the amped up volume takes care of itself at that point.
And then the first play from Great Bend in the second half, Jay Sharts up the middle. I don't even remember he was touched, but he put the speed on.
I think that is a clear sign of an offensive line that maybe was a little frustrated in the first half. Late in the second quarter, they put together a pretty good sustained drive, and I think all of a sudden they got their gas back. And that first play, I'll almost guarantee you there were 4 or 5 defensive linemen from McPherson that were on their hiney ends because our offensive line drove them onto their gluteus maximus, if you know what I'm saying. And Sharts was just opening. You want to talk about the C's opening. He went through there and kicked his head back, and he was gone.
We're not going to say the word they used in the broadcast the other night.
No, we were learning to get rid of our sailors' vocabulary or our coaches' vocabulary. Well,
it's just okay. Secondary played okay. What did you think? I mean, Ian Premer back there. I think he's just going to be a ball hawk when teams are able to pass the ball.
He made a play the other night, and I can't remember exactly. Maybe right before halftime. Or the drive that equated into our touchdown. He could have probably picked off a ball in the end zone. It was 4th down, and you want to talk about a headsy player. Instead of going up and picking it off and starting at the 20, he just went up, waited for the right timing, and was set on just knocking the ball down. I'm just going to knock this ball down because we're going to get it at the 37. If I intercept it, I'm going to lose 17 yards. So whether he thought of that or he didn't, which I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure he probably thought about that, that just says something about the kid. And our secondary, we talked about it at halftime, make Carter Allen, who was a quarterback for McPherson, make him beat you.
Right.
Because, Pavlovich, hey, I pulled that off, didn't I? Pavlovich, he had said that his strength was his offensive line. Okay, well, if your strength's your offensive line and linemen like to run the football, you're telling us that your strength is going to be running the football. So as soon as they could take away the run, which they did, the defensive line did, our secondary was right there on every single play in somebody's hip pocket.
people don't understand. We've had so many different pronunciations of Coach Pav's name, and I was just like, and I had Pavlovich the whole time, and then we got there. People were kind of telling us it was different. I'm going, wait a minute. So,
well, they actually told us that he just likes to mess with people. And he might throw an extra P in there, Pavlovich, or so. Coach Pavs, that works.
And we talked a little bit about the flexibility, and you kind of mentioned a bit earlier with the pass. They pitched it to Cooper, and then he tosses it to Minton for the touchdown. That's the flexibility that offense has.
That's the flexibility of having athletes at skill positions. And we have a lot of athletes out there, which is just going to make us better as the season goes along.
Okay, so we all understand they need to develop some players. Are they going to be able to do that during junior varsity games and maybe have them move into varsity level later in the season, or is that a dream?
The hard part is every level you step up, the game speed is totally different. We saw early in the game, even the players that didn't see a lot of varsity last year, their angles were off. When a guy's trying to make the corner, you can't run at his hip and expect to catch him. You got to aim 3 yards in front of him and take that angle. So the speed is definitely different. Now, are they going to be able to pick that up? Nothing compares to game speed. Nothing compares to game experience at that level. So it's going to be hard. There's just going to have to be some kids that step in and learn under fire. And quite honestly, if there's some JV kids that are as tough as some of these kids we saw in varsity last week, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Because they do need some depth. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. In fact, there was one time I saw Owen Kaiser, and I think he was cramping up. He stretched out his left hamstring, and then he was cramping up the next play, maybe in his right, but he wouldn't come off the field. And that just says a lot about the toughness that all these kids have. To play as much as you did and get as many snaps, 80, 90 snaps probably, or what I gather they probably took. So it's something else. I'm excited. The toughness level. That's offense, defense, X's and O's, but the toughness level, that's a lot about a team.
That comes from the heart. You can't teach that.
You can't teach that. That's just the kids. And you know what? I think Central Kansas, that's one of our pluses. Is all teams. You go out there and you look and all these teams this weekend, there's a lot of toughness because we went around and football, we threw the football around. We spun it around. We drove some people on their hind ends, and all teams in the area did it. So that's great.
Speaking of their next game, the Panthers will host Olathe South. Have you been able to find anything about Olathe South yet?
Well, Ash, here's my philosophy on the thing, and this is what I always taught my girls in softball, is that if you start to overthink things about who's your next opponent, what have they done, and I right now, if I have parents and kids listening to this, they already know what I'm going to say. It's a next up mentality. Who do you play? We play the next team.
It doesn't matter who it is.
It doesn't matter who it is.
Yep.
Because when you get to a certain level, X's and O's are nothing more than that. X's and O's. If you go out and you do your job, you execute your responsibility, it's up to the other team to stop you, and vice versa. So at some point in time, in its purest form, you just got to go out and do it, no matter who it's against.
As a Royals fan, I know their manager, Matt Cottrell, keeps saying today. They have shirts that say today. That is the only thing they worry about. They don't worry about tomorrow. They don't worry about the game before. They worry about today.
And, today, in more simplified form, this play.
Exactly, sure.
So it's this play that you worry about. Oh, I totally whiffed and got Minton blown up. Well, guess what? This time, I'm going to crush this guy across the meek because it's this play.
What do they say? That don't let one play turn into 3 or 4 bad plays.
That's right, and yesterday's home runs don't win today's ball games.
Very good. All righty. I believe that's going to wrap it up today, Sean. So I guess we will probably talk to you maybe Friday night.
Yeah, let's plan on being at Memorial Stadium and not the middle school.
Okay. Well, I was going to go to Pawnee Rock and see if they could play over Pawnee Rock.
Well, Coach Lett just told me before the interview that they might be playing at Barton.
Okay. Well, thank you, Coach. We're never going to live that one down.
No, we're not. We're not. And we're going to keep self-opening the wounds.
But you also understand that's how I am. I will say that, and, I like making fun of myself. So
I do, too.
All righty. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Sean Barrett, color analyst for the Great Bend Panthers, and we'll be right back with more Sports Day after this. Steve Webster rejoins you here in a couple of minutes.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Gray Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
He's passionate about his high school sports and his trendy sports apparel. Sports Day presents the Gray Bend Tribune's Jim Masunas.
Jim Mizunas in with us on Sports Day on this Monday. It's brought to you in part by the Animal Medical Center in Gray Bend. Big or small, they take care of them all. And the Barton Cougar Booster Club continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department best in the country. All right, Jim Mizunas, what do you want to talk about after that weekend? What's on your mind today after the first full weekend of everything?
Well, I'd say that Kansas and Kansas State football is at the top of the list, I would say.
Yeah.
Kansas State passed a severe test, and Kansas didn't quite get the job done. But when your quarterback gets intercepted 3 times, you're not going to win many ball games.
Yeah, and especially a guy that last year was in the early running for the Heisman Trophy race.
Well, when you throw one interception, throw one touchdown for your team and one for the other team, that's never good.
Yeah, you could just feel that one slipping away. I mean, KU had so many chances to put the game away. Yeah.
And again, it comes down to what's working, what's not working. They got away from the run game, and that's just never a good thing. If you're running the ball well, just keep running it. That's for sure. Okay. The Detroit Lions were a perfect example of that. And by the way, these guys supposedly are really bright people who run the NFL. But let's have 2 separate rules for overtime. That makes a lot of sense. Let's have 2 separate rules. Why? Anybody? Commissioner? Anybody? It's just simply absolutely stupid. Why would you have 2 separate rules? Hey, let's play. Okay, Major League Baseball. If you score in the top of the 10th inning, the game's over. So that's how much sense that makes. Both teams should have a shot. That's why I like college overtime way better than NFL. You both get a shot.
High school football. Gray Bend opens with a win. Hoisington loses a key player, and Larned comes up with a win.
Yeah, just got an update from Coach Baird. It's not a fracture, but it's a bad ankle sprain, and his projection for Coach Baird was 4 to 6 weeks. So hopefully it's on the 4-week side. But Hoisington without Jason Robinson is a different football team because Jason, both sides of the football, is absolutely a brilliant football mind and a football player who puts himself in line for success each play. So Zach Baird has got a heck of a coaching job for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, especially with that early season schedule.
It's a tough schedule.
They will take on Heston, who defeated Halstead in their opener by the score of 21-14. Larned goes to Smoky Valley. Smoky Valley coming off a miserable season last year. Gave him a run, but heck, you put up 36 points in your opener. That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's really looking like it's going to be a 3-team district now with Lake and Larned and Hoisington. And I might give Larned a slight edge at this point because with Jason out, hopefully he gets back for the key district games, but that certainly casts certainly some doubt in Hoisington's case. But they still are a good football program with quality kids, so I expect a bounce-back performance from Hoisington this week, and I would expect that they'll go back to their basics, blocking and tackling and running the football, and they'll get back to Hoisington Cardinal football this week. But yeah, great opener for Larned, and like I said, they were a competitive playoff team last year. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to see Lardon and Hoisington in that 2A district.
Any other teams stand out for you from that first week from our area, Jim?
Well, I would say St. John and Otis Bison both winning lopsided scores by shutouts were very impressive. I mean, St. John has not had a winning season for quite a long time and a playoff appearance for quite a long time. So I would say St. John was the biggest surprise, but Otis Bison was right with them. Their adjustment to six-man is definitely an advantage. Jay Coopengardner accounted for 4 touchdowns, so got him off to a great start. And Central Plains did exactly what I thought they would, rolled past Maxville, and they've got a huge offensive line. They average 240 pounds in their front 3, and their tight ends are 190, 180. So that's a pretty imposing front 5 on offensive line for the Oilers. And they've got a quarterback, Brody Kreitz, who's really good. So that's essentially all they have to do is fine-tune that running game and then hit them with the big play. And I suspect that the Oilers are going to have a nice season this year.
Yep, that's a big game in the area. They go to Victoria, so
Yeah,
there you go. We'll
one.
find out a lot about the Central Plains Oilers. Let's see. Any thoughts on volleyball from the first week?
Well, I think Great Bend got off to a positive start. Ellenwood played the top 2 teams, state champions in 1A Little River and 2A Hillsboro, beat them both, and then faced certainly the top team in 3A volleyball this year. Nobody's going to challenge Beloit this year because Ellenwood has an outstanding team, and Beloit took care of them in 3 sets because they play a best of 5. So great schedule to start off, and that really will help Ellenwood on down the line.
Okay, cross country, great start for we talked about it when you came on last Thursday. Was what it was.
Great start for the girls, and the boys showed some potential. You know, they showed vast improvement. And what I always like to do is if they ran the course last year, I compare the times to last year, and virtually in every case, and sometimes in the girls' side, 2 or 3 minutes improvement. So that's really what the coach looks at. That's what I always like to look at too, is how'd you do last year? And every girl and every boy who competed last year improved their time with a minimum of several seconds to as many as 3 minutes. So that's really what you look for in that sport, is you want to gradually get a little bit better than you were last year.
Anything else from the opening week of the fall sports season?
No, I think, like I said, it'll be crazy to see K-State on a Friday night, but
and KU playing both on Fridays.
Yeah, it's too bad, but professional college football is just different than high school.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of money involved there, and unfortunately, when they're writing the paycheck each time. Northern Illinois got $1.4 million, by the way, to go to South Bend, Indiana. I do have an officiating question for you. Okay.
Oh, no.
Player A kicks off. Player B for the opposing team lands on the 10-yard kickoff. He lands on it, got the ball secured. So player C decides to pile drive him. What's the call?
Player C?
Yeah, another player, a player from the kicking team. The player B has secured the ball. The play is essentially over. So a player from the kicking team pile drives the player.
Well, that's kind of an easy call, isn't it?
No, well, it wasn't an easy call for the officials because they didn't call it. But anyway, that's just the thought that occurs to me. It's like, man, I'll tell you what, it's a tough job because, I mean, it's.
Was it a bang or?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, there was like 2 seconds. I mean, the kid was laying on the ball for 2 seconds and then.
Well, no, that's.
Yeah, I mean, it just was, sometimes you see, and I'm always for player safety because a lot of the rules, particularly at the NFL and college level, are to protect the players' safety. And I like those kind of rules because that's really what you need to do is make it as safe as possible. And the game of football simply is way safer than it used to be. Back in your high school days, there's a lot of things that, crackback blocks, just blocking on punts and kickoffs. You could block below the waist.
You tackled with your head.
Yeah, it wasn't unusual where you would have that happen. And I guarantee you, my high school career on the punts and kickoffs, it would have way been different because I was an expert at cutting guys' legs out. I blocked.
Oh, yeah, blocking below the waist.
I just love that because I just thought, oh, man, this guy weighs 220 pounds. This is easy. I weigh 150. There's only one way I'm going to approach this and cut his legs out. So.
Well, as long as it's simultaneous, Jim.
Yeah, but anyway, it made me think that, man, this is a tough job. It's a second by second type of job, and I was thankful that, hey, these guys are donating their time. And they're not donating their time, but they're, putting their time up to referee a junior high game. So good for them.
Well, coaches are doing a great job teaching the new rules.
They are. They're doing an
excellent
job. They're doing an excellent job. And it's just nice to know that the game is much safer than it used to be, for sure.
Absolutely. Jim, thanks for coming in. We'll check in with you next Monday already, man. We're going to be middle of the month. Yeah, middle of the month in September.
And go Bears.
Yeah, okay. You and the Nebraska and Chicago Bear fans are right there. Our show brought to you American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, featuring number 2 Clear Diesel, bulk fuel, E10 fuel delivery, and all your lubricants and fuel supplies, and by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, and Equity Bank, adding value for our customers and communities. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoiston, and Larned. See the locations tab at equitybank.com for more locations.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today I wanted to visit with you about the power of a multi-doctor practice. And the power of a multi-doctor practice is we can serve many different people, many different personalities. The power of a multi-doctor practice is we have a lot of horsepower here, a lot of people. We can get a lot done. We can say yes, we can get you taken care of. The other cool thing about a multi-doctor practice is we're all different personalities, we're all different makes and models. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by Panther cross country coach Lyles Lashley. First week of college football, Coach, what'd you do?
What I do?
Did you watch anything big?
No, we were on a food truck, of course, and we had the K-State game on, and we had some games on in there. We brought some big iPads in there. Had to watch some football, but no, we watched that, and that was about it.
Well,
watched my Saints yesterday actually win a game.
That's right. Yeah, you're probably more into the NFL than the LSU Tigers this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. Always my two favorite teams, Louisiana Tech and whoever plays LSU.
Well, let's go back to last Thursday, the Great Bend Invite out at Lake Barton. Talking to some of the parents who have had kids come up really through your program or even before, but I think mostly yours. Used to be 7, 8, 9 teams out there, 25 teams this time. How fun just to see that many people out at Lake Barton.
It was really cool. It was nice to see that, just to see the meets expanded. I think definitely the time we set it at on Thursday morning is very favorable for teams to come. Don't have to deal with the heat this time of the year as much in the morning time. So definitely adds to a good factor for that, and just a good competition that we had out there. Some really good schools in all classes that were traditional powerhouses in 3A and 4A, and then of course 5A and some good 6A schools also. So we're excited to have that many people out there, and hopefully they went back out and ate lunch in Great Bend and spent a little money there.
Yeah, and that's everybody I saw seemed to be having a good time. Knew the competition was going to be good. Is there a cap on how big that thing can get?
I think you're kind of pushing it 25. I think it's a little crowded in there, especially when they go into the North Loop up there. It probably will have to be capped around there, or we'll have to run 2 divisions with the big schools and the small schools. Let's put it all together.
Yeah. So girls race was the first one. Obviously, gonna guess the best runner in the state this year, Caitlin Rupa, Salina Central, 17-14 in the first race of the season. Was that a course
so fast? Not so fast, my friend.
Whoa.
The girl from Seaman ran like 16:50 something.
She did.
Yep, at Manhattan. So now that should be another crazy showdown in 5A. But no, I believe that was the course record. I was actually asking her because I couldn't remember. She didn't remember either. Kids don't remember their own times anymore. So no, it was a pretty incredible run by her. She went out the first K, I think in 3:11, which is basically 16:15, say around 16:10 pace, almost a sub 16 pace, and then she beat I wonder what place she got in the men's race.
Well, and so that's course records, and even what the girl in Seaman did, Ryan Miller, it would have been coming out opening the season with those times. Normally you break a course record at regional time, but how about just opening the season that way?
Well, I read a deal that Caitlin's time was the fastest ever time for a first meet by a Kansas high schooler, and then of course, Seaman ran on Saturday morning, so then she ran even faster. So just luckily, we're just so happy those two girls are in 5A. It's just for joyous times.
Talking to Panther cross country coach Lyles Lashley, but obviously you dealt with some big graduation, and here the Lady Panthers are still first place as a team. How about the effort of your girls?
Yeah, I was really, really pleased with their effort. I thought we have some room for improvement, definitely, but when you get Taya and then Bella just absolutely worked their tails off this summer and, improved by long, long ways. And, of course, I did too. Marissa did too. They all had some big improvements. I think Taya and Bella were like 3 minutes and 30 seconds faster than they ran last year. So it was really nice to see their hard work pay off. And then looking forward to see what Reese can do over the next few weeks. That being her first ever meet. Cross-country meet, I think she experienced the pain she had never experienced before.
And we've seen that maybe with Mackenzie Premer last year. Pretty good, 400, 800 girls stretching out to 3 miles. How long does that take, and then what's that going to do come track season?
Definitely helps them during track season. I remember those kids I had at Barton a long time ago where I remember a kid I had, it was like actually I had about a 2-minute guy out of high school, and I made him run cross country, and he hated my guts. And then he ended up running 148 from the 800, so he kind of liked me after that. So it just allows for a big, huge base for you. And then once you carry that over in the wintertime, then you're allowed to do workouts that you normally couldn't do before. Just the recovery times are so much easier, and it makes you bounce back and ready to roll.
And then how about the boys' side? Ismael Ramirez leading you guys, but some familiar names in there, Taven Stroop, and a new one we got to see this time, some kid named Brogan.
Yeah, don't get me started on him. No, I thought Junior ran pretty well for his first meet. I think Izzy rolled his ankle a little bit, and so he didn't run as well. And Stroop had a little jitters, but he's been running really well, and I expect Stroop to get things turned around and running well. But Junior ran a really good race, and Diego's we had quite a few first timers in there. For 3 of our 6 were first time runners on the boys' side. So it's nice to see him compete well. I think there's a huge upside with that group. I think they definitely can get a whole lot better. Obviously, with Ismael, we won't have him for regionals and state, but it will be a WAC thing. But the rest of them, I think we can if we can stay healthy, put 5 or 6 guys together. There's a couple other freshmen that have really improved already in the last few weeks, so I'm excited to see what they do.
And one big meet to the next. I believe you guys are in Olathe this week.
Yeah, I was just looking at those entries, and I think they're sitting at 900 people entered in the meet already, and it's I think entries closed in 2 days, so I can't imagine what's going to be how many's going to be in that meet. But I saw a couple teams from Arkansas, a couple teams in Missouri, just all over the place. So it should be an outstanding meet. Now I'm looking at it, there's 739 boys entered, and there is 516 girls. So we're looking a little bit over 1,200 people with 2 days to go for entries.
Excellent. We will see how Great Bend stacks up later this week. Coach, fun to see the kids get back after it. It's fun to see you out there, and we will keep doing this each week now.
Sounds good, Mike. Thanks for your coverage.
All right, more Sports Day after this.
Discover affordable education with Barton Online. Whether you're looking to pick up a class or earn your associate degree, we've got you covered for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling with 5 sessions available this fall, including 16, 8, and 4-week sessions. Get started when it fits your schedule. Tackle your gen eds or the first 2 years of college with a low-cost pathway and save time and money with Barton Online. Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Also brought to you in part by Eller Automotive Repair. They specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. And Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals. If you hate the SEC, well, you're probably really hating on them right now. Top 7 teams in the AP college football poll, 6 of them are from the SEC. So there you go. You get price of a hot dog information?
Yes, we do. Average price at an NFL game for a hot dog and a beer, $15.02. Jeez. And I'm guessing that's going to be a regular hot dog, nothing fancy at all. So
it's probably one of the most wrinkled ones that have been in the corner. I mean, just not even a Bronto dog or anything like that.
It's just going to be a hot dog that's been there for 2 years. You get most expensive? Seattle, $19.98 for a hot dog and a beer. The cheapest? Atlanta, $7.49. I actually got a Royals game this past year for a hot dog and a Coke. I got $7.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, you have 3 bites and the hot dog's gone. Right?
Yeah.
And Jason Robinson did not play. He intercepted the first pass of the game. That's when he hurt his ankle. He didn't even take a snap at the quarterback.
He didn't take a snack. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's not broken. So
that's not broken. That does make a difference. They said 4 to 6 weeks. Is that what?
Yeah, it sounded like the. Okay, tomorrow's show, we'll talk more about Houston football. Cole Reif will be in. Preview their game with Heston. Talk about that game with Pratt. Megan Bessaker of the 6th-ranked Barton Lady Cougars will be in tomorrow. They play Pratt tonight, looking to stay undefeated. And Mike Corson goes on the prowl, so that will be on the show tomorrow. Olathe South at Great Bend, Hayes at Wheat Ridge, Colorado, Dodge City at Olathe East, Garden City at Olathe Northwest, and Wichita South at Liberal. So there's your WAC.
A lot of travel going on in the WAC.
I think so. Talk to you tomorrow.